We are once again in downtown Chicago, hanging out on the Magnificent Mile. And we're gonna be doing a little staycation. This time, we'll be staying at one of the most architecturally beautiful hotels in the entire city of Chicago, the Warwick Allerton. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, I have 3 words for you. Tip, top, tap. What's good, YouTube? It's LUISGUSTO. Welcome back to my channel. The Warwick Allerton opened up in 1924 as the Allerton House, originally a club hotel for bachelors, and over the years it's undergone a ton of changes. We're gonna get into all of that, show you all around the hotel, give you a full suite tour, and tell you everything you need to know before staying at the Warwick Allerton. But before we get inside, do the hospitable thing, finesse that like button, and subscribe for more travel content. This is the ground lobby. You gotta go up to the 2nd floor for the registration desk. All right, so we made it to the Warwick Allerton lobby and we're just waiting in line now to check in. We are all checked in and now headed up to the 17th floor. For this stay, we booked one of their suites overlooking Michigan Avenue. I cannot wait to see the view. We made it to our suite at the Warwick Allerton Hotel. Construction on this hotel began almost 100 years ago and wrapped up in 1924. It cost $4 million to build, which is about $65 million today. The Allerton House was originally part of a chain of hotels based out of New York run by the Allerton House Company. It's been here so long that the neighborhood has completely changed. When it was first built, there were row houses and single-family homes all up and down Michigan Avenue. It was built to be a club hotel for bachelors. Now, what exactly does that mean? Basically, it was just an early form of apartment renting. Like I mentioned before, in the early 20th century, apartment living was still looked down upon. I know it's hard to believe, but it was something that really only poorer classes did. Young, single professional men who weren't quite ready to invest in that single family home could stay at a club hotel. They'd pay a little bit of rent and get all the amenities that a young single man was looking for in those days. Dining, entertainment, gymnasium, not to mention one of the best locations in the entire city. Eventually, the Allerton House was opened up to bachelorettes as well. As a matter of fact, 6 entire floors were dedicated to young single women. And speaking of floors, the Allerton House is 25 stories, 360 feet tall, or 110 meters. It was designed by architects Murgatroyd and Ogden in the Northern Italian Renaissance style. Now, over the years, it's gone through many changes. In 1998, it was designated a Chicago landmark. 1 year later, it underwent a $40 million restoration. Part of that renovation was to break down some of the walls, and those 700 plus rooms were converted back down to about 443, which is where we stand today. In 2014, it was purchased by Warwick International Hotels and is now known as the Warwick Allerton. Amenities include a full fitness center as well as the M Restaurant and Lounge. And you may be wondering about that iconic sign that's lit up in neon at night. You can see it pretty much anywhere on Mag Mile. Well, that refers to a ballroom that we're gonna see a little bit later, so keep it locked for that. All right, so you ready for a room tour? Let's go. Let's take a grand tour of one of the most premium suites available here at the Warwick Allerton Hotel. This is the foyer with a great console, perfect for dropping your hotel key, your sunglasses, your food, whatever. There's also a mirror so you can get a final look before you head out onto the Magnificent Mile. The ceilings are a little bit low, but as you come into the main living area, you can see they go up Frank Lloyd Wright style. There's also some beautiful crown molding, artwork all over the wall. The first thing that you're gonna notice when you walk into the living area is a simple but effective workspace. This has everything that you need: a desk lamp, a telephone, a very comfortable chair, I have to say. There's even a phone jack in case you brought your old school telephone. You can plug it in right there. Can't guarantee that it'll work, but hey. The main part of the living room, there is a sofa and a couple of chairs. You can comfortably sit, I would say 5 to 6 people in here. You know, if you're on a family vacation or if you're having your wedding or some other corporate event here, you wanna hang out, have a small intimate gathering. Speaking of intimate gatherings, boom. You have a wet bar here, a sink, coffee maker, ice bucket, and a microwave. It's not very often that we find ourselves having a microwave in our hotel rooms. Plenty of under-sink storage so you can store your juice and your popcorn for the microwave, remember. Here's another console with an LG TV, and unlike some hotel rooms, this actually has the stock remote. That's a callback for you. MacBook over here because the grind doesn't stop. And there's actually another little ottoman here. This is the south-facing view of Magnificent Mile. Simple but amazing. amazing detail. You book a suite like this for an important event, you can hang your elegant gown, your tuxedo, maybe even your Pikachu costume. Let's head over into the bedroom. Now, I've really been feeling booking suites lately because we're content creators, and when you're on the go creating content with the cameras and the equipment and the batteries and everything like that, it's really nice to have a separate work area. When you're done for the day, you kind of leave everything charging, and then you can come into the bedroom, get a little bit of peace and tranquility. What I really love about this bedroom in particular is that you have a seating area. If you're not quite ready to lie down in bed, you can unwind. By the way, both television sets have exposed HDMI ports, so you can hook up your Apple TV, your Roku, your cell phone even. We have an east-facing window. Not gonna quite see Lake Michigan, but you are gonna get some of the effects of that sunrise in the morning. What you do see instead is some of that historic brickwork. Now keep in mind, we have unobstructed west, south, and east-facing windows in this suite. That is extremely rare. As we come around here, we see the king-size bed. I cannot wait to test this out and let you know how comfortable it is. The first thing that you're gonna notice is this amazing headboard. It's got that leather look, real puffy. Standard to every hotel room these days, you've got a couple of nightstands and some lamps. I haven't mentioned this yet, but being a building in Chicago from the 1920s, you're gonna have radiator heat. So if you're staying at the Allerton in the wintertime, I bet you will stay nice and toasty. The closet is nice and big, so if you're doing a lot of shopping on Mag Mile, you bring all your clothes, your presents, your shoes, whatever. Nike's down the street, there's a Zara across the street. There are also some standard things in there, wooden hangers, a safe, iron and ironing board, a couple of robes, and a luggage stand. Another thing I'd like to mention is that the bedroom and the living room has separate AC units, 2 different thermostats, so you can set individual temperatures, be nice and comfortable in either room. And we enter into the washroom. This is one of my favorite aspects of this suite. This is what you would expect from a 4-star luxury hotel. When you're talking about historic hotels, the washrooms are the rooms that are most likely to be closest to the original design. Marble on the sink, in the shower, and on the floor. It's a beautiful vibe. This 3-piece mirror, which I'm gonna call a bay mirror, I don't know if that's right. There's also a magnifying mirror, a hairdryer, plenty of under sink storage, a window facing east, natural light, good breeze, which Chicago is famous for those breezes. We are sitting in the M Avenue Restaurant and Lounge. Unfortunately, due to current events, it's closed. So we weren't able to try it this time and review it for you, but we're definitely looking forward to that next time. In any case, it's a beautiful area to lounge in, right next to reception on the 2nd floor. You can't be chilling in a nice historic hotel in a lounge like this. It's time to have a nice, fun evening here in downtown Chicago. We're in Streeterville right now, and one of my favorite museums is the Museum of Contemporary Art. It's free on Tuesdays for Illinois residents. Just a little pro tip for you. This is gonna be a really nice time because I don't think we've been since the pandemic, so let's go. We are here at the MCA on Chicago and Mies van der Rohe Way, right off Mag Mile. The MCA is a small museum, but don't mistake that size for weakness. Every time I come here, I'm amazed by the galleries. When I browse a museum like this, I think about the 2 most common reactions to contemporary art. Number 1 is, I don't get it. And number 2 is, I could do that. My response is always like, if you can do it, then do it and end up in a museum. This is one of my favorite parts of the MCA is the seating. It's all red, even the tables and pillows. Red is my favorite color. Comfy seating too. Behind me is the flagship Ralph Lauren Chicago store. In addition to a store where you can get all your polo gear, they have a restaurant and a bar. It's one of my favorite restaurants actually in the city because it's got a chill vibe. Our main course has arrived. Earlier we got a couple of drinks. Narissa got a gin-based drink. I got a beer, the chicken milanese and an herb-crusted chicken breast with some arugula salad with tomatoes on the side. It looks incredible. Narissa got the burger with some hand-cut fries. Let's cut this chicken up and see how it tastes. Very crunchy, buttery, and herb flavor. Side salad has Parmesan, arugula, and tomatoes. The side salad complements it very well with a good atmosphere, good drinks, good food. Perfect evening. So we've seen most of the historic Warwick Allerton Hotel and a grand tour of our premium suite. Now it's time to check out what, in my opinion, is one of the dopest aspects of the Warwick Allerton, the fitness center on the top floor. Now think about it. How often do you have a fitness center at a hotel on the top floor? Usually it's on one of the middle floors, maybe in the basement, tucked away somewhere because the hotel doesn't want to lose that premium space. And another great aspect of this gym is that they have Lifetime and Paramount equipment. As a somewhat of a gym rat, I can recognize good equipment when I see it. And trust me, I've been in some hotels with some janky equipment that looks more like it was designed for playtime rather than workout time. Tell me what gym in Chicago is gonna give you views like this. I can't think of one. I am so hyped right now because we are headed to the 23rd floor. The views from this floor are absolutely incredible, and even almost 100 years later, there are no other buildings obstructing the view. This is the legendary Tip Top Tap Room on the 23rd floor of the Warwick Allerton Hotel. Now, before you watch this, you may not have been super familiar with the Warwick Allerton, but if you've ever stepped foot on Magnificent Mile, you're most certainly familiar with those beautiful neon lights shining tip, top, tap. Wow, talk about a dream come true for a Chicagoan. When the Allerton was originally built, this was a restaurant and bar, basically the signature lounge of its day. This is where you brought a date that you wanted to impress or that special lady that you wanted to propose to. Over the years, famous acts like Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack played here. In later years, it was home to nationally syndicated radio show Breakfast Club, and now it is a glorious event space where weddings are held, product unveilings, big time business meetings go down right here in the Tip Top Tap Room. Hey, maybe one day Louis Gusto Productions will have a big film release here. I guess I'm speaking that into existence. And for the first time in very many years, the Tip Top Tap Room will help Chicagoans ring in the new year. They will be having a 2022 New Year's party. Let's take a look around because these views are incredibly beautiful.
I've seen the Tip Top Tap sign so many times just walking down the street, and I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be standing right here next to it.
Chilling up here in the Tip Top Tap Room got me thinking about how blessed I am to be able to go around my city and visit historic buildings. This is unbelievably dope, not to mention a ton of fun. So obviously there are a ton of hotels on the Magnificent Mile, but very few have the history and character of the Warwick Allerton Hotel. I mean, this building has been standing for almost 100 years. It's seen the area around Michigan Avenue go from quiet residential neighborhood to one of the most famous shopping and entertainment districts in the entire world. And talking about the renovations that they've done here, it doesn't feel like a 100-year-old hotel. It feels pretty updated and modern. I could definitely stay for multiple days or even a couple of weeks. And I think it's only gonna get better, especially once the restaurant and lounge open back up. Plus, coming very soon to the Warwick Allerton, a Rolex store. And it's about time I upgrade. The customer service in this 4-star luxury hotel is top-notch, and they have some beautiful meeting and event spaces. With the location, amenities, and the history, I highly recommend the Warwick Allerton Hotel right here on the Magnificent Mile. Peace and blessings.